Let's play football.
Let's play football! Germany! We the champions! Well, it's the World Cup time. It's the World Cup time. It's the World Cup time. Put your hands up in the air. Put your hands up in the air. Put your hands up. This is the World Cup. Put your hands up in the air. Put your flags up, leave it there, and put your hands up in the air! Germany! The 7-1 win is reminiscent of the 2014 Brazilian World Cup, where the Brazilians were humiliated and left annihilated on the floor! Guts everywhere! This is reminiscent. Now, I counted Germany out of my top 5, my top 6, but these guys thought different! For fuck's sake! The highest scoring game in the entire World Cup against the shittiest team, regardless. Put the United States against Curacao. Let's see if they could get 7-1 on the game, on the board, man. Now, that's all I'm saying, man. I love the United States. I love football. So that's why I got to be brutally honest. I thought I was watching the fucking 2014 World Cup in Brazil. Because 7-1? What are you, Brazil? Getting humiliated on your own turf? What are you, Curacao? Now, I'm out here as a fan, just sitting here watching. It's the first half right here. I'm thinking, you know what? Damn, Curacao really hanging in there with the big dogs. If you like me, you thought Curacao was hanging in there with the big dogs, man. You thought they was. But then they get annihilated. They get treated like a couple of fucking high school kids who don't know any better. Seven to 1, Germany, Curacao, one lousy goal. But you know what? They're the smallest country in the entire tournament. This is one of those countries where it's like, wow, man. It's history that they're here. It's history that they scored one goal. And it's low-key also history that Germany just wiped the fucking floor with them. Now, look, listen, man, if you from Curacao, I feel for you right now. This is those moments. This is one of those times where you're low-key like, fuck, can I get a dual citizenship? Fuck! 'Cause fuck! Right? Right? This is one of those times, man. Germany 7-1, 90 minutes plus 5. They gave them extra time to try to get another goal in. This is reminiscent of Brazil getting their ass handed to them. Literally handed to you. Here you go. Here's your ass. You forgot to wipe it. Come on. Come on, man. Germany, you are an absolute iconic national team. I can't believe that Germany made such an early exit in the 2018 World Cup, right? I can't believe that Germany isn't on the top 6, right? With performances like this. Now, granted, this is against Curacao. Now, Curacao is a very small nation, right? They've got footballers. They've got several footballers, but none of them are really names we recognize. You know what I mean? But they put together a solid team. They've got the passion. They got the energy. They made it. They qualified into the World Cup, right? The United States was eliminated by Trinidad and Tobago, bro. Like, Curacao is better than Trinidad and Tobago. You know what I mean? So that puts things into perspective. When these bigger nations start stepping foot onto the field, there's not much you can really do to stay alive. It's not much. Not much, man. It's like Genghis Khan conquering your land, right? Like, not much you can really do unless you're Jin Sakai. So, ladies and gentlemen, once again, I'd like to raise a glass here for the Germany team who has once again showed the extreme class that they are capable of. Germany is capable of extreme class. They've got the class, they've got the skill, they know how to play football, they've got the tekas, tiki taka, second nature to most of these European teams, following Brazil's viralness of tiki taka in the early 90s and 80s, right? These guys know ball, right? They're not like prideful and egotistical to the point where like they see a new strategy and they're like, hey man, you know what? That works. That works. And you know what else? We're also capable of doing that. That's the thing. See, there's two mentalities. You see someone else taking off, running with the ball, right? And then and there's two mentalities. Either you think, damn, they're running off with the ball, like they're so far off, like damn, right? Not much I could do. Or or you lock the fuck in. You think like these European gangsters that rule the world. And sooner or later, you rule the world. Right? Now, Germany is one of those countries. It's not necessarily a dark horse, right? But in this specific tournament, they're a little bit of a dark horse, just a little bit. I know you see the scoreline 7-1, but you got to remember this is Curacao, right? Curacao is not known like as a nation, as a country. I couldn't point to it on a map, right? They haven't given us any reasons to really point at them at the map. You know what I mean? That's how life usually works, right? We got a whole bunch of crazy shit going on in the world, right? The Knicks won the NBA Finals in Game 5, right? There's so much going on in the world. We also got UFC Freedom 250, UFC White House coming up next, right? And then on top of that, we got Japan and Netherlands coming up next, right? Less than 30 minutes from now, right? We've got Japan and Netherlands coming up. So it's one of those things. Look, you either love football or, you're an American. Because seriously, man, the entire world loves football. Besides American. I mean, they don't even call it by what it's called, right? Even the Brazilians call it futebol. The Mexicans, the Spanish, the Latinos, they call it football, right? Like, everybody calls it an iteration of football. This is why the United States has not gained global respect. You know what I mean? Back onto the topic of the USA, they played good. I think they've earned that global respect, but I think they need to respect themselves and call it the United States men's football team for various reasons. Various reasons. But also, one reason to consider is that the United States of America does not actually have a national men's football team, right? They don't actually have one, right? They may say, the National Football League is huge out here, so, right? That's why we decide to do the bullshit that we do. But at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, the National Football League does not host a World Cup, right? And you know what's awesome about that? If they decided to, they would definitely be contenders. They'd definitely be contenders. I mean, let's be realistic. Let's be realistic here. There's not really anybody better at football in terms of National Football League than the Americans. Now, there are Europeans that are better at rugby, but there's not Europeans that are better at football. So this is the caveat. This is the big conspiracy caveat with the United States, right? Like, bro, you're the best military branch in the world, but you're not the best at every sport that you think you are, right? You know what I mean? Like, look, Let's let these rugby guys have a run at your national football team, right? And the NFL should be pretty easy, right? Most of the guys, most of the top dudes are born in the USA. So let's see it. Let's see it. Let's have the rugby guys go head to head against the NFL All Stars of America, and let's see if the United States truly is the best national football league. Because even then, I think, you know what? Europe's rugby might be able to give you a run for your money, right? They're not used to playing with all these little sissy, pussy ass pads and helmets and all this bullshit that makes you not feel the impact of getting fucking rocked by the other team, right? Let's be honest here, man. Y'all dominate the National Football League only because it's national. You want to prove me wrong? You want to prove the world, most importantly, you want to prove the world wrong. You reach out to them rugby folks. You play by their rules. Let's see how far you get. Let's see how far you get. When these motherfuckers really, really, really start fucking knocking you out just so you don't get the ball. Let's see how much they compare. And I think the United States will definitely make it to the semis or finals in that exact type of context. But now we're back to reality. The United States stands no chance, okay? The United States is Curacao when it comes to Germany or Spain or France or Brazil, even Argentina, right? They're Curacao. They're Curacao. They don't have what it takes to make it to the top. They don't have what it takes. They don't have what it takes. And the main reason is greed. Greed. Greed, 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 greed. Because you have several footballers that are much better than any of your bitch boys that are relying on their pops' money to get them into the team. That's the truth, man. You don't like to hear it, but this is why England, Europe, in as a whole, right? As a whole, Europe as a whole has the system that they have for football. Because they recognize there are several talented footballers, right? But they also recognize that there are kings above the kings. That's the main difference. And they don't charge money to find that out because they know they're going to earn much more if they actually bag a king of kings. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the main difference between United States football and European top level football. Now, I hope the United States never faces such a humiliating loss like Germany and Curacao did just here. This is a humiliating loss that has happened to top level teams. Brazil is a top level team. Brazil has won more World Cups than the United States of America could ever dream of. But seriously, sometimes this is football. When you've got world class talent on one end of the field and world class talent on the other end of the field, this is what happens, right? Sometimes Germany kicks the fuck out of Brazil. Sometimes Brazil locks the fuck in, mixes a few ankles, and a couple golazos, right? This is the beauty of football. You never know, right? Some players are guaranteed to be good. And then there's the players that are in top form. And they're sitting here just every pass, every touch, every dribble with the utmost consistency and perfection possible. This is the World Cup. This is what happens, right? We're thinking Curacao, the smallest nation ever in the history of football to make it to a World Cup. Granted, the United States, Canada, and Mexico got a free pass. They usually have to struggle to get into the World Cup in the first place. But still, their usuals, right? At this point in time, before my lifetime, and hopefully before your lifetime, because I'm aiming to target people that are my age or younger, right? I'm a 26-year-old football enthusiast, right? This is my life, right? Football has been my life for 26 years, right? I haven't played very much football in the last couple of years, which is why I'm chunky, I'm fat, right? But at the end of the day, right? I've still got the skills. I still know how to control the ball, dribble, shoot, right? I still got the skills. It's like riding a bike. You never forget how to do it. You know what I mean? You never forget. And I've spent so much time playing football. So I know when a football team is worthy of glory and when a football team isn't. I can tell. One instinct, man. I can tell with just how you pass the ball, how you dribble, how you receive the ball. I can tell how you shoot. I can tell how you do every aspect of the game. I can tell whether you're a pro, amateur, or a newbie. I could tell, right? And legends, we can all tell whether you played football or not. You can tell someone's special when they do something special, right? Come on. I just want to say Germany 7-1 against Curacao. Extremely, extremely reminiscent of that 2014 World Cup era where Germany eliminated Brazil by 7 goals. Extremely reminiscent. Reminiscent. This looks like it was honestly manipulated by artificial intelligence to look like it's Curacao when in reality it's Brazil. You know? Getting humiliated. Getting done dirty. Like a fucking slut. And on top of that,
It's going to be
look who we've got coming up. Look who we got coming up next. We've got the Netherlands. The Netherlands versus Japan coming up next at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I don't know what time that translates to in your time, but seriously, right? The World Cup is the biggest tournament of the world, right? The NBA Finals. Think about the NBA Finals, but double it. And we're just in the early stages of it. And when big nations start to play, like Brazil, for example, or France, even more viewers. I'm talking billions more of viewers, right? Like Brazil gets an average of several billion viewers. Argentina gets an average of billions of viewers. Spain gets an average of billions of viewers. England gets an average of billions of viewers, right? There's several nations to consider, right? But Germany, as we've all know in football, is one of those nations that could give anybody a run for its money. You know what I mean? Like, they've got several Champions League footballers on the pitch, you know? Up to until yesterday, we haven't seen Champions League level football. We've seen a few Americans kick ass, but we haven't seen Champions League level football until yesterday and today. Netherlands and Japan coming up next. After that, Ivory Coast, Ecuador. Right? It's gonna be a great day for football. And then, if I can load this up, We got the UFC 250, UFC White House event coming up pretty soon. Ilya Topuria versus Justin Gagey. Alex Pereira versus Cyril Gain. Sean O'Malley versus Alaman Sabi. Josh Hokett versus Derek Lewis. Mauricio Rufy versus Michael Chandler. Bone Nickel versus Kyle Dacus versus Diego Lopez and Steve Garcia for the main event. This is top level fighting, following up top level football, right? Here's the World Cup schedule, chat. Look at this shit. World Cup schedule. Here it is. World Cup schedule, right? After that game we just saw, we've got, right, of Germany and Curacao, right? Germany 7, Curacao 1. After that, we've got Netherlands versus Japan. Japan. Don't count Japan out at any point in time. And not just because of the animes and the passion. They've got a great football team. Great football team. I think that the Japanese football team will give the United States a run for their money. And Japan isn't known to produce, top level professional footballers, right? They're not known for that. Right? You know who is known for that? Portugal. The United Kingdom, the UK, aka England, France, Germany, Brazil, Spain, to name a few. Those countries are known to create these huge legends here now. And mind you, the World Cup is just getting started, right? It's just getting started. This is the group stage. We're not even to the point where, everything matters. Every pass, every dribble, every shot. We're not to that point just yet. It feels like it because it's the World Cup, but we're still in the group stages. We're still not to these heavy eliminatory stages where one match you don't perform and you're out, right? We're not there yet. It's almost there, right? It's almost there. So it's one of those things, chat, right? Sorry, I forgot to adjust the camera there. But it's one of those things, chat, where it's do you know football? Do you love football, right? Or are you just a biased American, right? Me, I love football. So y'all better make sure y'all like, follow, comment, subscribe, whatever the case may be, right? Because I love football and I know good football when I see it. Because I've seen good football all my life. And I've played good football all my life. So trust me when I say Germany versus Curacao is reminiscent of 2014 Brazil. It's reminiscent.
Be tough for them. This is a really, really tough group, but every game starts at 0-0, and what they've got to do is approach the next one with the opportunity to say, okay, if we can get 3 points, maybe we have a chance.
You know what I think, too, going into their second and third game, to be able to carry those vibes that we saw beforehand, right, and that energy.
I can't analyze this game too much because
that lady was very Very smart. She's smarter than some of the other commentators there, right? She knew from the beginning. There's no way Germany scores more than right 6 goals, right? Her guess was 6-0, which was pretty close to what the final score really was, which is 7-1. So this goes to show, man, like this is top level football. You understand what really can happen at top level football, right? You see a top level football team go against a low level football team, and you're like, yeah, this is a humiliation ritual.
This is by far the easiest game they're going to play at the World Cup. The games are going to get much harder from here on out. I'll jump
in. We got to drink till we win. Give me the cup, the championship. Told him I'm bringing it back to the crib. Todo el mundo mirando, everybody gritando, la bola girando. Let's go, let's fight. We up tonight. Won't break. That's right. One world, unite. We going, we live for this moment. We told them. Let's go, we're the champions. It's the World Cup time. It's the World Cup time.
All right, y'all. Once again, man, a beautiful World Cup game by Germany against Curacao there. Yo, once again, y'all, Mari Florentino signing out. Peace.
Cause this is the World Cup. Put your flags up in the air. Put your hands up in the air. Put your flags up, cause this is the World Cup.